plant friends, welcome back to my channel, Planty Princess 92. My name's Ashley, and if you haven't noticed, we have a live plants box. Today is another unboxing of a plant that I've been super excited to receive, so we'll get right into the unboxing so I can show you what I have in this package. I do have a mic on that I am testing out, so I hope this will improve the quality of my audio. But with no further ado, let's get right into this plant package. This is another one that I got from eBay. I will link the seller like usual in the description below. This is an Epipremnum. So now when we open the box here, it has tissue paper stuffed in all the way. It's packaged really nice and tight. And this was shipped in its pot. It's also taped to the box for extra security. All right, so we have this baby out of the box. Let's get right into it. I'm really excited to have this plant in my collection. I've been wanting these for rather a long time now. So this is another wish list of my plant. This is why you have to be extra careful, because I now just ripped the tip of a leaf off and I am so upset about it. But the seller had it rolled down like this, so I went to rip the top and the leaf was up in that fold. So unfortunately that just happened, but at least it was only a very little tip and the whole leaf didn't come off. So by the looks of the leaf I just showed you, you now know it's a variegated plant. A variegated Epipremnum. The packaging is really nice, except for the fact that that leaf was wrapped in the fold. So here we go. We have the Variegated Epipremnum Pinnatum. So pretty. So this is a little more of an immature plant. When they get more mature, they do get some fenestrations. Actually, this one has a fenestration. That one has one fenestration. So I'm super excited to see that it is on its way to starting to develop some of those fenestrations. Here we have a half moon. That's the one that I just ripped the tip off of, which actually doesn't look too bad. So at least, unfortunately, it was the newest leaf. Of course, it had to be. It couldn't be an old leaf that I did that to. But it still looks really great. And you know what's nice? This tells me that this must be somewhat of a fast grower, because this leaf I can still feel is not even hardened off yet. And another one is already coming in right here, which is fantastic. I'm super excited about that. That shows me that it's a little faster of a grower and that it was well taken care of. It's obviously happy, or it wouldn't be pushing out leaves as fast as it obviously is. So it came through with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves, and then the 6th one on the way, which is a decent amount of leaves. It looks like the stems are pretty variegated themselves. As you can see, this where my thumb is pretty dark. This one right here is really light. It also has some dark going through it on this side, which is really nice. The distance between the nodes isn't very much, so it was getting an appropriate amount of sunlight to keep them more closer together so they're not so leggy. I did just see a little fungus gnat crawling along the ledge here, so I think it has a little case of fungus gnats, which isn't too big of a deal. You know, if it's going to have any pests, I would prefer it to be fungus gnats. They're pretty easy to get rid of. Mostly you just let your plant dry out as much as possible without putting any harm to the plant. And the fungus gnats need that wet to survive, to lay eggs, to go through their life cycle and all that. So if you can let your plant dry out as much as possible, that would definitely help prevent those fungus gnats. And then maybe even switch the soil, take off the top layer, like as much as the top layer as you can. Because I just got this and I want to let it acclimate, I'm not going to do any of that. I will obviously let it dry out, and I will let it dry out as much as I can before I give it its next watering, to try to get rid of that. But I will just let it go, let it do its thing until it acclimates, probably for about a month, and then I will probably repot it. I will actually probably switch this to semi-hydroponic because Epipremnum seem to do really well for me anyways in semi-hydroponics. So after this gets acclimated and settled into its new surroundings, into its new environment, into where it's going to be placed in my home, I will then go ahead and transplant this into semi-hydroponics. I will make a video on that, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But let's just check out some more of this foliage. I'm noticing this leaf here with the fenestration. I really like how much white it has down here in the corner here, and then it has like this big splash of just dark green, and the rest of it is like splashy white and green. It looks really, really nice. I really like that. This one here is super splashy as well. Now I'm not sure if those holes, they don't look like they look like the plant did that itself, because they don't look like something ate it. It doesn't look like it was like crisped. You know how sometimes they get those crisp spots and then it turns into like a hole. It doesn't look unnatural, like it looks natural. It's too smooth to have been eaten or, you know, harmed. Like it's just such a smooth hole, if you can tell. This one also has them, and again, they're too smooth to be damaged. So I think that's the start of the fenestrations. But again, this is another beautiful leaf with all that splash. And this is another half moon, one that I didn't rip the tip off of. So I will take the tape off and see what's kind of going on underneath. See if I can, you know, see what's, you know, if there's fungus gnats really in here, or I'm sure it came from this plant. It was crawling right on the pot, and none of my other plants have fungus gnats that I've noticed anyways lately. So, but again, not a big deal. It happens. Now, this plant will like bright and direct light. I will keep this in my bright lit room with the two east, the south, and the north facing window. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to keep this in my grow tent or on an east facing windowsill. I will have to decide that. I will definitely, though, keep it near the humidifier if it's not going in my grow tent, just to give it a boost of that higher humidity. I'm sure it would love and appreciate and thrive in a humidity around 65%. So either way, it's going to have that humidity for sure, along with that bright light. Epipremnums are pretty easy plants to take care of. Now, this is my first variegated one, so the care may be a little bit different, but I can't see it varying that much. You know, I think the only thing that may differ is the lighting needs, because of the white variegation. I will also be letting this dry out in between waterings. I won't let it get deathly dry, but I won't keep it moist either. So I will be watering it like the day before it would be completely dried out or so. So we'll look into this soil here. I see roots popping out from the top, so that shows me that it has a nice extensive root system, and I can see one poking through the bottom right here. Right here. That little brown little pokey. So that shows me it also has a nice extensive root system that is able to reach the bottom. I don't see any fungus gnats crawling around on the top. But they could be further under, who knows. So since I can't see them on the top, normally like when I go into nurseries and there's fungus gnats, when I tap the pod and press on the soil, you see them come out and crawling around. I don't see that. So if there was a fungus gnat, you know, in here, it's probably not an extreme case since there's not a bunch of them running around trying to escape the earthquake. So that is definitely a good sign. I think this thing will be in good shape if I let it dry out for a few days before I water it, just to get rid of any eggs that fungus gnat or fungus gnats may have laid. But other than that, I am very, very happy with this purchase. I am so super excited to have this into my collection. I've been on like a really big kick for variegated plants. Well, I've been on a big kick for lots of plants lately, but I'm definitely getting into the variegated ones. I really love that white variegation with the green. And Hoyas. So those are my two weaknesses right now. Hoyas and white variegated plants, which of course are always the most expensive. But I'm excited to have this in my collection. I can't wait till it grows out a little more and I can kind of fill it in so it has more than just one grow point. I think it's going to look really cute. I will probably provide this a trellis to grow on because I think that will keep the leaves nice and big. I don't think, I know it will keep the leaves nice and big, and I do want this to develop nice big leaves. So I will definitely be giving this a moss pole just to help it climb, keep the leaves nice and big, and she will definitely appreciate that. So again, this was my Epipremnum Pinnatum variegated. Thank you guys again for joining me in another unboxing. Here's another plant for your wish list. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content I provide. And as always, every plant's a princess. Bye.